How's it going, guys? It's Double Room here, back with another game reaction. I just recorded this, but my mic was a little scratchy, and I've noticed it in a few other videos, so I was like, well, I guess I'll record it. My thoughts aren't going to change. And so this is my reaction to the Minnesota versus Grizzlies game that happened tonight. It was Game 5 of their playoff series, and a lot of the online discourse is centered around how it was rigged, and I'm here to tell you that was not the case. I'm an unbiased observer. Actually, I was rooting for the Timberwolves, but I didn't think there was egregious calls. It wasn't rigged. It wasn't like a big deal. The only bad call, it was a no call when Patrick Beverley got pushed out of bounds, but referees make mistakes. The Grizzlies were still down like 8 points or so when that happened, so Minnesota still had control over the game. It wasn't like that was the swing. And ultimately, it came down to Minnesota missing shots, making bad plays, and Memphis coming up with offensive rebounds and making shots. Bane hit a huge corner three. John Morant hit a three to put him up. Dylan Brooks hit a big three. Brandon Clark got multiple offensive rebounds and putbacks. So this was not the ref's fault. Go rewatch the fourth quarter. I rewatched the entire fourth quarter, and it was not rigged. It was a good officiated game. And, I've seen rigged games. The 2002 Western Conference Finals, I've watched that whole, all the rigged games of that series. Even 2006 Miami Heat, that game, I've watched that stuff. That was rigged. This was not rigged. This was a fairly officiated game. And, there were some foul calls that people were questioning. John Morant, he got many free throws. But if we look at the run they made in the last like 6 minutes, John Morant shot 4 free throws. Okay, in the last 6 minutes, I'm pretty sure, maybe. But he shot 4 free throws that really cut into the 10-point lead that Minnesota had. One of them, he was hit on the arm, right here. That's a foul. I'm sorry, it's a foul. The other one, D'Lo went up to contest a lob, and D'Lo got his arm. I don't know if I would have called that if I was the ref, but that was a foul, and I can see why they'd call that. There wasn't any bad no calls. There was maybe one place where Minnesota could have gotten a call on the offensive end when Patrick Beverley put it up, got the offensive rebound and put it up. There could have been a foul there, but I couldn't really tell from the angle, and it didn't seem like there was an egregious foul. And ultimately, it came down to Minnesota missed. Anthony Edwards missed a little putback. Anthony Edwards made a horrible defensive play on the last play of the game. Anthony Edwards took an ill-advised three-point shot. Karl Anthony Towns took an ill-advised two-point fadeaway. D'Angelo Russell took a horrible two-point fadeaway as well that he tried to bank. Like, the Grizzlies, the Timberwolves just took bad shots at the end and didn't capitalize on their lead. And the Grizzlies closed them out. And, they just played better. If you look at some key stats, the Grizzlies had 18 more possessions because they had 12 more offensive rebounds and 6 less turnovers than the Timberwolves. It's hard to win a game when you have 18 more possessions. So this was won by the Timberwolves. I'm sorry, guys. Brandon Clark was playing like a beast, got a bunch of offensive rebounds. They couldn't keep him off the glass. The John Morant three-pointer to put him up one was off an offensive rebound of Brandon Clark. Brandon Clark had multiple putbacks to cut into the lead, and that wasn't the ref's fault. That was the Timberwolves' fault for not getting the rebound and boxing out well. So you can't blame that on the refs. And go rewatch the fourth quarter, watch every single foul call, and tell me that it was a unfairly officiated game. Yes, there was some missed stuff. There was one egregiously missed thing, and then 2 questionable things. But those 2 questionable things that I already discussed were well within reason. But the one egregious thing, it's tough, but this shit happens in the NBA. If you watch NBA games, bad calls happen all the time, and this was only one bad call. And after the call, Minnesota was still in control of the game. So you can't tell me the refs lost this game or were the sole reason Memphis won. So I'm looking forward to Game 6. I think Minnesota can still win the series. I picked them to win the series in 7. And, yeah, it should be a really great game. But ultimately, Minnesota is more talented. They have more talent on their team, but they are just they just make way more mistakes. Throughout the game, there was, times where they left points off the boards, missed easy layups, threw horrible passes that were unforced, took bad shots. Chris Finch even called a timeout on a fast break that was going to lead to a wide open Vanderbilt dunk. But the one defense I have for him on that play was that it might have looked like there was going to be a jump ball, so he wanted to get on top of that. But ultimately, the fast break, he called a timeout when they were about to get 2 points. So that's, there was a lot of points that Minnesota like left on the board. And Memphis made a run late. Credit to Memphis. They played good offense down the stretch. They didn't even have to play great defense because Minnesota was just taking bad shots. So it was it's frustrating to watch them. They're still a young team. Anthony Edwards is their best player, and he's only 20, so it's to be expected. I believe that they will continue to improve, but yeah, they lost this game. They really did. They were in control the whole time, but they couldn't stop Memphis. Anyways, that's it. Peace out. Double rim out. Oh, actually, one more thing. I'm not gonna react to I'm not gonna do a super in-depth talk about the Celtics Nets game. I kind of already talked about the Celtics. They just are too good defensively and too coherent of a group. I already talked about it in the last video. Being a team matters, and they all are friends. They've all been together for years on that team, so that stuff matters when winning a playoff series. And I didn't think it was going to be a sweep, but I did think they were going to win commandingly in 6. And I think they're going to win the NBA championship. So, I believe in the Celtics. Even though I'm rooting for the Warriors, I think the Celtics are going to win. Anyways, all right, peace. I'm out.